Y'all, this is one of those cakes that's so hard to resist. It's my gluten-free apple bundt cake. It's incredibly moist and dense, and it has loads of apples in it that almost melt into the cake and create these pockets of like gooiness and yumminess. It's incredible, you guys, and it's so easy to make, so let's get into it. We'll start by preparing our bundt pan. I'm using nonstick spray here, gluten-free of course. You can also use butter. I just took the easy way out today. And I'm going to take a pastry brush and just kind of push this along further because the spray tends to pool up in some of those divots there. And then I'm just taking my all-purpose gluten-free flour blend and sprinkling some in. A couple tablespoons is good. And then just shake it around like you would, prepare any cake pan for greasing and flouring. I find that to grease and flour a bundt pan is so much better than to just grease it because they tend to really stick, especially in their intricate designs. So that's done. We'll put that aside and we'll mix together the all-purpose flour blend as well as some cinnamon, baking soda, and salt, and just whisk this together and set it aside. This is our dry ingredients. And of course, these amounts will always be linked. The description box will always have my recipe link. So we'll get on the mixer, and you can do this by hand or with a handheld mixer. We have sugar and 3 eggs are going in, and we're going to whip this up just to slightly creaminess stage, I guess you could say. And then we're going to add in some neutral oil. I'm using canola. You could use vegetable, or I bet even melted coconut oil would work great in this. Haven't tried it yet though. And I'm adding to that some vanilla. And then I'm turning it down to low and adding in the dry ingredients. This is just such a super simple cake to make. It can be made in literally like 5 minutes. So now we're adding in the apples, and the apples are really the star of the show. So you're going to have really more apples to batter. It becomes really, really thick. So we get this mixture into our prepared bundt pan, and we're going to bake it at 325 F for an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 until it comes out, a skewer comes out clean. And I'm just using a butter knife to go around and loosen it up. And then I'm going to flip it over after 15 minutes of being out of the oven, and then let it cool completely before drizzling it because the icing is really thick. So we want to make this icing really thick so it creates these beautiful swirls on top. So I'm adding like 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk to powdered sugar in a bowl, and I'm going to use a spatula here because if you use a whisk, this is such a thick icing that it will just glop up in the whisk and it might actually break your whisk. So use a spatula or a spoon to mix it together, and then just dollop it on. See how thick this is? And I like to kind of take a spoon and put like dollops on each of those swirls, and then let it just kind of naturally cascade down the sides. And that is all there is to it. It is so good, you guys. Every time I serve this, I get like rave reviews from people, and you saw how easy it is to make. It literally takes like 5 minutes to pull this together once you have all your ingredients set up. And then it's just oven time. So enjoy.